Welcome to Unleashed with Epic. I'm your host, Vincent Shields, and I'm here today with Ryan. Ryan's a client of ours at the Epic Dog Academy, and he owns a dog named Logan, right? Logan has a pretty cool story, so I want to go ahead and hear it. Take me from the beginning.
He does. So I found Logan on Facebook, on Animal Friends of the Valley page. It's not their actual page, but one of their volunteers runs rescue. It. Yeah, they post rescue dogs and try to get them out there. I found Logan. I was like, man, that dog looks like my female pit bull that I had to put down 4 months prior to finding this dog. I wasn't sure if I was ready to move on. I talked to the wife. The wife and I went to breakfast. We talked some more. She's like, okay, we can go look. I'm like, yes, it's going to happen.
It's always that, right? You go look and you can never leave without taking something home.
Right, exactly. So we ate breakfast. I'm like talking to her about it, and she's like, okay, I'm cool. So we get there, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to see Logan. And some of the kennel staff was like, hey, I do not know if you can see him. He just got returned yesterday. He's kind of pretty down and out. I'm like, hey, let me see him. I'll just open his door. I'll sit in the waiting room in the area where you're allowed to see the dog, and let him come to me. If he gets up, comes to me, great. If not, then I'm cool with that. It's his decision, I don't want to over push the dog, not knowing his whole story. The staff wasn't going to really let me see him because he'd been returned so many times, but I offered a great amount of money, and I guess money talks.
Yeah, I mean, because he had gotten returned because he was on the Rocky Kanaka show, and he had been returned 3 or 4 times. I think you're the 5th home for him.
Correct.
And did he have a bite history or any aggression or anything like that?
They, I believe one of the homes, they took him home, and they took him home straight from the Animal Friends of the Valley, and they put him in the wire crate and then went on about their day. Well, they came home, they found the crate shredded. Logan got out, destroyed their house because, dogs in a different, unfamiliar environment.
Absolutely.
And learning King Corsos, they have separation issues. The next family had kids. I didn't know this until I got him, that he had, he's kind of gets possessive with the little ones and people picking up kids and stuff. I brought him home, and a couple weeks went by, and he got sick. Ended up having to take him to the ER on Labor Day weekend. He got gastroenteritis and aspirated pneumonia. And when he came home, I had a different dog, a dog that I didn't know. And it was different.
So he was different from when you first brought him home from the shelter? Correct. So what were some of the things that you saw that were different?
So he was more about setting his ways. And he also was showing aggressions.
Yeah, I always tell people when they get a rescue dog, you kind of don't know what you get until 30 days later, right? Because it takes that dog 30 days to acclimate to the new environment, right? And they're pushing your boundaries, right? That's probably what happened in some of those other houses. He's going in, he's like, all right, what can I get away with? What can I not get away with, right? And so before you did training with us, right, tell me a little bit about that. What were some of the things that led up to, all right, I need some help?
So the thing that, I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, I did it to myself, is I invaded his space, not realizing that this kind of dog could do what he did. But I invaded his space. I went to snuggle with him and hug on him, and he tried to turn around and get me. And while doing that, he broke my nose.
So he didn't try, he did.
Yeah, he got me. But so I protected myself, waited for him to relax. You could feel the dog's body relax and let go. And that's when I pushed away from him to make sure that he's not going to come back after me. And he pretty much laid there, and I went and go clean myself up, get myself taken care of. And it was weird. He followed me oh man, I messed up. He was like, I messed up. I'm sorry. Don't see me back type thing. So I called a friend, and she was like, don't give up on him. You can't. You just can't. Get help.
I was going to ask you, have you ever felt like you were gonna give up in that time?
I wanted to. I really wanted to. I didn't really have the money because his vet bills cost me $8,500, and I just rescued a dog out of the
Shelter,
out of the shelter, a pound, and to dish out $8,500 in a matter of 2 weeks, that's a lot of money, Yeah, just let me go get it off the money tree out of the back. I had to actually.
You got one of those?
I wish I did. I wish it watered more. I actually pulled a personal loan for a little bit more than what I asked for, or the vet was asking for, because they were telling me he had blockage, and in reality, it was actually gastroenteritis and aspirated pneumonia.
So you take him to the vet, he bites you in the face, breaks your nose, you call a friend. Who was the friend that you called?
I called Martha.
Oh, she's going to be on our episode.
Right.
So Martha's great. So you call Martha. She says, Brian, you can't give up on him.
Yeah.
And then what did she tell you to do after that?
She said, seek professional advice. So I called around. I asked a couple trainers, the few of them that I ran into one in public in Elsinore. She's like, you don't want that dog. Just put that dog down. That dog's no good. It's got a bite history, good luck. A few of other ones are like, oh, that dog's got aggression issues. We don't deal with that. I'm sorry. You got bigger problems than what we can handle. I've seen Epic advertised on Facebook and on vehicles. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to go with them. For one, because they said they would take on with his issues that he has.
Aggression issues, yeah.
And also because, they have the Train One, Save One program, and it gives back to the community. So that was a big, big plus right there for me as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Martha. We've actually donated 42 tons of dog food through the Train One, Save One program. So it's clients like you that come in, and we ask everyone to donate that food, and we're able to give it back to the rescue community. So you saw us on Facebook, right? And Martha talked to you about us and things like that. You had a consultation with us, right? How did that go?
So Joel, the sales guy, comes out the house. I have Logan on the leash. I give Joel the heads up. Joel's like, oh, there's no problem. Logan's like looking at him side-eyed, and I'm like, you moved the wrong way, so, dear sir, I'm going to get you. So we're sitting there training. Logan's all grumbling, rolling, and, growling. He's not barking. He's just, the low growl, like,
being Logan.
This is your warning, and that's all you're going to get. And so we're talking, and I'm like, he throws the number out there, and I was like, okay. I didn't even ask the wife. I just pulled out the car. I'm like, let's just do it. It has to be done. There's no questions asked. I want to save this dog. And so Joel spooks him and kind of startles Logan, and Logan's like in that pounce mode. I'm going to get you now. And Joel reaches his hand out, and Logan almost got him. I mean, he did get him a little bit, but it wasn't like a full-on bite. But yeah, Joel was like, oh, that's my problem. I'm sorry. Yeah. I shouldn't have done that.
I think I remember that day because he calls me and he's like, Vince, I got my first bite.
I felt bad because it was just a nick on his hand, but I mean, still that's his fault for sticking his hand out.
Yeah, Joel's he's a little bit older, right? So, thinner skin, and yeah, I think he bled a little bit from that one. He definitely learned his lesson. Also, that's a story for another one. But the first consult I ever took him on, he actually got bit by the dog, and it was kind of funny. It was funny for me, not really funny for him. So what made you feel that Epic was the right fit for you?
The fact that you guys were willing to take on the aggression part, that you guys guaranteed me that we could break it and try to correct it with no extra out of fund pockets. It was just a flat rate. It is what it is, and we're here for the life of the dog, basically. Yeah. That was my whole, like, I'm going that route because I know I have that insurance of a trainer and help no matter what.
Absolutely. So when you started training with us, I mean, we've actually changed a lot of stuff since you trained with us. I mean, it's been 2 years now. You've had Logan 2 years. Right. So now we have a new app and all that type of stuff. So when you went through with Logan, there was there was some communication, right? But there wasn't as much as we have now. Right. So I don't know where I was going with that, but it's definitely okay. So Ryan, I want you to tell me a little bit about kind of what do you do with Logan now, right? Now that Logan's trained, right? Now that you're able to take Logan and do whatever it is that you want with him. What is the lifestyle like now that he's trained that you wouldn't have been able to do if you didn't get him trained.
So back when this all started, let me go way back to like
2 years back.
2 years back, out of class. You guys said you can give him some rest or some breaks. I'm like, nope, we ain't letting off this dog. We're gonna stay consistent with this dog, because if we don't, we're gonna have issues probably. And I've been consistent with him ever since day one. I had to show up to class half an hour, 45 minutes early every time. Now I can pretty much show up 10 minutes before class, 5 minutes before class, or right when class starts. But I don't even do that. I still give myself that 20-minute, 15-minute time so I can get him acclimated to the area where we're at, notice that we're at class, and get him to the working level where he needs to be. That's the biggest thing out there. Like, if I could tell anyone right now, hey, when you first start this program, you have to commit to your dog.
Absolutely.
You can't just say, well, my dog's trained, go in the backyard, whatever. No, I still give my dog 10, 15 minutes every day. And that's just for me.
That's just the formal training, right?
Yeah.
Not counting the walks and
right.
everything else. Yeah.
And, you know, we use the commands through the house. When we're on stairway, he likes to try to cut us off going down the stairs. So I make him wait at the top of the stairs. I call him down to the halfway point, make him wait again, but in a sit position or a down position. And then I call him the rest of the way when I'm down, because then he can't cut me off or make me fall on the stairs. Now up to date, I couldn't take him out in public.
Yeah.
I couldn't go anywhere. This dog wanted to just go after everyone and trying to like protect me, because, you know, I saved him. And now I can actually take him to the mall. I take him to Target, take him to grocery store. I take him everywhere, Starbucks. I take him everywhere. And I just have people like look at me like, that's a big dog. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm proud of him.
One thing I want to double back to is when we first brought Logan, or when you first came back and picked Logan up from training and you took him home. Everything wasn't hunky-dory when you took him home, right? Right. It was one of those things where it's like, I remember we came over to your house and it was me and another trainer, and I looked at you and I was like, well, I guess someone's getting bit. It ain't going to be me. Right?
That was a crazy wild night, because, you know, that dog's he's a Corso, so his breed is to protect and serve its property and its owners, you know.
Yeah.
And someone coming to our house is like a no-go. You're stranger danger. You're the predator. He's the missile. He's coming after you, you know. And it actually worked out. None of us got bit. None of us got bit that night. I mean, it was a good exchange. It was a good experience. It was cold.
Yeah.
It was like October, but colder than where we're at right now.
Yeah. And then I remember that Logan had some issues with your daughter, you know, and like we had to work through that, right? And like we're not even, I don't even know if we're still 100% over that, or if we're not, right?
We're not at 100%. I was told when I got Logan that he would never be able to be created. I can tell you this one. I can tell him place in, and he walks right to his crate. I don't have to pull him. I don't have to force him. I don't have to drag him. I don't have to put a leash on him. He goes straight in his crate, lays down, and I can shut the door now.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought one of the biggest expensive crates out there.
Yes,
but
you did.
That dog is
one thing. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off there, but one thing that I tell clients, and that I see that you do for Logan all the time, I always tell everybody it's our job as the dog's owner to advocate for our dog, right? Because if we don't advocate for our own dog, who's going to, right? And it's your job to make sure that he's safe, so that way he doesn't accidentally bite somebody or anything like that, right? Even with training, right? You're still dealing with a living creature, right? Still has its own emotions, still has his own thought process, right? He's still got genetics, right? Which are to be protective and all that type of stuff. Right. So I want to give you some kudos on that, because even at group class and everything like that, I always see you advocating for your own dog. Right?
Yeah.
It's important.
I try to read the body language. I can tell when he's going to act up, because he starts getting fluffed. He starts getting fluffed up. His ears go up. He just starts turning into that darker color, and it's like, I'm ready to pounce on things. If I see it coming, I try to take him away from it and redirect him, like, hey, pay attention to me, not what you're doing.
Get him to filter out that distraction.
Right. And, you know, I put a martingale collar on it. It's not a prong collar, but I put a martingale collar on him. And I'll tell you what, even though it doesn't have a prongs on it, that matter of that tug, it still works like a prong collar. And I mean, I still use the e-collar. It's there. Yeah. I use the e-collar as the backup if he doesn't want to listen.
So the martingale collar, you're just using that as like the preparatory command, like, hey, you pay attention, do what it is that I'm asking you to do, right? So that's that. Him having clarity in the training tools definitely helps out with that, right? Because you don't need to use it like what some people would say how you use a prong collar, right? Because you're not utilizing any of the tools as a negative. They're not an aversive tool, right? What it is, hey, you pay attention, do what it is that I'm asking.
Like,
right?
like even now, you know, I still use the e-collar, and most of the time I just put the collar on him and it's yes sir, no sir. Like, I don't even have to use the remote. I just show him the remote and it's like, okay, I'll do whatever you want. Or if you just put the collar on, it's like, okay, yeah, I've got this on. I know what it is. But even sometimes we don't even use the e-collar on him. We just pick the remote up and he's like, oh, okay.
So Ryan, what would you say to somebody who's struggling with their dog? They just got a rescue dog, or they got a dog from a breeder. It doesn't matter how they got it, but they're struggling. It could be an aggressive dog. It could be a dog that just they're struggling with it. What would you say to them?
If you have a dog that's struggling, just get some help. I mean, it's better to get the help than have to send the dog to a shelter. I mean, dogs don't belong to shelters. If you're gonna buy a dog from a breeder and you're gonna spend a few $1,000s, I mean, you're throwing your money in a trash can. And by getting training with like Epic, which I 100% recommend, you're investing your money in your dog for guidance, for help. And that's what they're there for, is the trainers are there to help you get through the little speed bumps or hiccups that you have with your dog.
If you were to be able to sum up your experience with Epic, right, in just a couple of words, what would you say?
I would say they're loyal, they're honest, and they're trustworthy.
Appreciate that.
I mean, I don't trust anyone with this dog because he weighs 130 pounds. This dog is like the second most dangerous dog out there in dog bites. I 100% hands down have been through the whole facility at Epic. I wanted to see it before I put my dog through training. I liked what I saw. I liked the fact that you guys have so many different doors that dogs are to get out just to get out.
Yeah. We always say 3 doors between the dog and freedom at all times.
Exactly. And that's what I really liked. I liked how their kennels are all set up, and it's not outside where, you know, a King Corso can jump a fence, no problem, if it wants to.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And the fact that you guys have inside climate control, that was good with me.
Yeah. We spent a lot of money on our place.
I believe it. When you see it, you'll believe it.
I just want everybody, you know, that when they come in, that it doesn't. One thing like what we pride ourselves on is you come in there, it's never going to smell like you're at the pound, right? Like
I've never smelled dog in your facility ever.
Yeah, it's we keep the place clean, and that I would say that a lot of that goes to Olivia because she has OCD about cleaning. So just see how clean our facility is. Come check our house. Well, Ryan, I want to thank you for coming on the episode here with us and speaking about Logan. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you as a client, and I appreciate the fact that even after 2 years, you still come to group class.
I give it every other weekend. If I can do it, I do it.
You've been coming religiously for 2 years.
I mean, there's been some hiccups and stuff when I don't get to go. Like, you know, we got married and went on honeymoon and stuff here lately. But
you're allowed to do that.
I still give it every other weekend.
Yeah, you do. And you put in the work and you call me and things like that. Like, if I could say, like, to the clients out there that even that we train their dogs and things like that, like, I always say, hey, look, call us if you need help, right? And you've done that, right? And so that's why you've been able to come so far with Logan, and now you see other people come, especially with their Corsos, and you're like, look, just give it time. Just give it time.
Yeah, right? I try to be the positive guy in the group, especially the ones that are struggling. I always walk up to them and give them their space and stuff, and I always tell them, just give it time. It'll get better. 100%, I promise. 100%. I mean, I took a dog, a stray dog out of the pound, and I'm able to put him on an escalator. And you, as a trainer, know that is the hardest part for a dog to pass in service dog. And I actually got my dog on the escalator by myself with no help.
Yeah.
And he actually loose leash on the escalator.
Good job. All right, Ryan. Appreciate it. Thank you.